WVEC-TV, planned.
Time for Buttons Lane with you, and here we go.
This is Jeff Kincaid, ABC News.
Tourism has put the Virginia Beach oceanfront on the map as a top attraction for families. But the beach suffered a crushing blow 28 years ago when the events of a single weekend put the entire industry in jeopardy. Tonight, a look back at Greekfest 1989. No matter how hard and how fast he runs, Chance Madison can't get away from the Greekfest riot of 1989.
I still dream about it sometimes. That's how bad it was.
Young people, many of them members of Greek fraternities and sororities, checked into oceanfront hotels for fun in the sun. Madison says on Saturday afternoon, the Strip was the place to see and be seen.
Nice cars, everybody wearing their best clothes, bikinis. A young adult's heaven.
But in a matter of hours, that heaven would turn into hell. There wasn't a single cause of the chaos, but an aggressive police department and the soundtrack of the summer, Fight the Power. Public Enemy's Fight the Power played a role when the violence broke out as police attempted to clear the streets. Virginia Beach Police Chief Jim Cervera was a sergeant in the police department.
Public Enemy, with their song Fight the Power, which when we were on Atlantic Avenue and the kids were chanting Fight the Power, it went into Fight the Police.
You had to see it with your eyes, Regina. Our sisters were getting knocked around and pushed around like they were nobody.
Even members of the news media, including a young Mike Gooding, got pushed around.
They requested in a pretty authoritative way for us to turn off the light, which we immediately did, but then they kept hassling us a little bit, I felt, unnecessarily.
Things continued to spiral out of control when National Guard troops were called in early Sunday morning.
It was one of those things that I was just overwhelmed, to sit back and say that I had any idea that we were going to have a riot in the city of Virginia Beach in 1989, and I just been elected to city council in 1988.
The damage estimate topped $1 million. As restoration of the oceanfront was underway, city leaders created a plan to restore and improve the beach's image and community relations. Police leaders met with leaders in the black community and the nation's historically black colleges and universities.
The officers are trained much differently today on how to look at a situation and say, how can I fix this without having to go to arrest procedures?
The business community also stepped in to help fund activities for holiday weekends.
Immediately thereafter, we appointed Dr. Harrison Wilson at Norfolk State and Andrew Fine from Virginia Beach to form a task force to make sure that we do not have this issue ever occur. And they went out and raised money to provide the entertainment. They called the festival Labor Fest, and frankly, this is how the American Music Festival, came to be.
National acts come here,
right.
And all of this is because of what happened at Greekfest?
I sit back and say to you, yes. And again, we had an event that no one is proud of, but I also applaud, a city saying, okay, this was not good, we don't want it to happen again. How do we learn from it?
After vowing never to return to the beach, Madison once again calls this home.
After we run, right there in Neptune Park, you get to hang out, listen to the music and everything. Love it. I love everything they've done, and it's a great place to come. We have a great time down here.
Greekfest 88 turned out to be more than a weekend gathering at the beach. Complaints of violence, destruction, and vandalism left hotel owners concerned. Police were outnumbered by the dozens, so there was little they could do to control troublemakers. Although the strip is quiet now, police and other city leaders are planning on how to keep it that way. Sources say police will beef up its patrol to be more visible throughout the entire summer. And during Greekfest, sources within city government say there may be undercover officers patrolling the strip. Vice Mayor Robert Fentress agrees that more officers are needed.
They're hiring additional patrolmen, and I think that things like what happened to us during the Labor Day weekend just brought on the inference that we needed to move out fast.
Fentress also says Virginia Beach needs tougher fines for misdemeanor offenses, but he doesn't think the present ordinances will change before Greekfest, so violations like drinking and urinating in public could continue.
And so these guys virtually get off scot-free?
Basically, yes.
The Hotel Motel Association of Virginia Beach is considering giving its summer guests IDs and holding seminars on protecting their property, but nothing has been confirmed yet.
To deal with crowd control and things of that nature during any big weekend next year, not just Labor Day, but Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day as well.
Beefed up police patrol and tighter house rules in some hotels are solutions to only part of the problem, because if tens of thousands of people attend Greekfest again this year with nothing to do, some businesses say there's bound to be more trouble. That problem falls in the hands of the Greekfest promoter in Washington, but he says right now he doesn't know how to keep Greekfest goers occupied the entire weekend. Sheldon Ingram, 13 News, Virginia Beach.
The people who operate old-time photos on the Strip say they've stayed open for business during the worst weather, a hurricane. They claim they have no plans to close their doors because of possible trouble from Greekfest.
Is this store going to close?
No, not if we can help it. We're going to stay open as long as possible.
That's how many business people feel up and down Atlantic Avenue, including the owner of the Sugar Bowl.
Inside our store, we really had no problems at all. I mean, the students were, for the most part, well behaved. There were a lot of them. You know, we enjoyed having them, and I look forward to the same results next year, or this year, I should say.
Many of the merchants along the resort strip say they cannot afford to close for the three-day weekend because they're counting on Labor Day to make up for poor business.
For them, Greekfest and Labor Day is a question of economics. It's the biggest day of the tourism season. Still others threaten to close early or not even open at all.
We manage a club down the street, and we know we're not going to be open because we don't want any trouble.
The hope is that this year, cooler heads will prevail, that everyone will get along, police, college students, and tourists alike.
And I think that calling out the National Guard is just a bit much.
Michael Barnes, 13 News, Virginia Beach.
The clash between Greekfest tourists and police last year caused tempers to boil over. Some people say they resented the way officers broke through crowds on horses and in riot gear. But today, before the strip thickens with the crowd, police are quite visible. They are using the Visitors Bureau on Pacific Avenue as a command post. Police received refresher tips on controlling crowds. Their primary concern is to make sure tourists obey city ordinances. Those laws include no open alcoholic beverages, no public profanity and drunkenness, no disorderly conduct in public, and no riding on the car hoods and trunks. If needed, the Virginia Beach State Police and the military police of the National Guard are on standby, and hotels and businesses are beefing up security for the weekend.
I guess at least 4 more security officers should be out here.
At this one hotel?
Yes.
Throughout the weekend?
Yes, throughout the whole weekend.
And other hotels are doing the same thing?
Yes, they are, from what I understand, what I've been told they have been.
Greekfest tourists unloaded their cars this morning looking forward to a fun Labor Day weekend. They say what happened last year is history and hope the problems don't surface again.
We knew about the many problems, but we didn't think, we thought it would be calmed down this year.
The NAACP entered the scene earlier this week. One of their requests is that the businesses target the Greekfest market, a way of making them feel welcome. Well, today, Greekfest t-shirts are on sale in at least 2 shops on the Strip. The news about Greekfest last year spread throughout the East Coast grapevine. But this year, some tourists say they feel welcome. And for now, the Strip is peaceful.
I had a nice time when I was here before, and I hope to have the same enjoyable time this time with no problem.
Well, I heard, there was a lot of violence going on.
And but you know, it's over with now, and it's a new year, so better start.
Greekfest enters day 2. The crowd thickens, traffic moves slower, music is pumping, and people are charged up to have fun. While all of this is happening, police are trying to keep order by ticketing traffic violators and arresting troublemakers. It's clear the momentum is picking up. Greekfest tourists don't want the fun to stop. Meanwhile, black fraternities and sororities at Norfolk State University don't want tourists to spend their money at the Strip. They're staging a boycott.
I'm not here boycotting because I feel as though the Virginia Beach itself, as a whole, they did not want the Greeks to be here. Okay, it's like when they agreed to give us $10,000, which the hotel donated, it seemed as though they was donated $10,000 to keep us from being here.
Did Norfolk State not ask the beach merchants to help them defray the cost?
Well, that's true. They may have asked them to help them, but it's as though the Greeks were asked at the last moment.
I don't think we're stirring bad blood. We have provoked a lot of people to think about buying stuff, about spending their money here, and about the fact that Virginia Beach doesn't want us to be here, but they want our money.
Some blacks argue that beach merchants didn't market the Greekfest crowd last year. Some are now, but students still want to boycott.
Do you think this boycott idea will pick up and eventually hurt your business before the weekend is out?
Yeah, I think it will. I think that it could have a very adverse effect on all of us.
I believe the people that are down here this week are here to have more fun than they are to boycott the businesses, so I don't think they're really going to waste their time boycotting something that's not really going to work.
You think the boycott's necessary?
No, not really.
Why not?
The merchants, they're not making people spend their money. They're spending it because they want to.
Broken windows, stores trashed, merchandise gone. That was the scene greeting owners of about 100 stores on Atlantic Avenue this morning.
I mean, I'm kind of in shock. I just, all this is, I can't believe it. They took all the clothing. I mean, as you can see, they broke all the windows, took cash registers. I mean, they took everything. They destroyed it.
From about 34th to 14th Streets, there is broken glass everywhere, evidence of the early morning looting.
There are just about maybe a dozen left out of maybe 1,000, 2,000 shirts.
The worst damage can be seen around the shops at 14th to 19th Streets. They are cleaned out. Some shop owners say their season is over.
It was a good season up until last night.
It's over?
I think so.
Disgust, despair, and anger. It's in their faces and in their voices.
It's a serious problem for us down here because this beach, its reputation is just tarnished.
By the afternoon, boarded-up windows were a common sight. Many stores that weren't damaged are already closed for the night. Merchants just don't want to take any more chances. Beach merchants were hoping the influx of people during Labor Day weekend would help make up for the bad summer they've been having. But instead of making up for it, some are boarding up. A bitter end to the summer. Catherine Barrett, 13 News on the Oceanfront.
Unlawful assembly, clear the streets, sidewalks, and other public areas immediately, or you will be arrested.
State Police, Virginia Beach Police, Norfolk Police, Virginia National Guardsmen, and Beach Sheriff's deputies meant business as they launched their second sweep of the night along the resort strip. They marched down the streets, firearms and nightsticks in hand, greeted by taunts, heckling, beer bottles, and rocks from hotel balconies above. So after this unlawful assembly was declared, police, hundreds of them, moved out on Atlantic Avenue and tried to rid the streets of suspected troublemakers and reporters.
Get the light out of his eyes. Let's go.
I told you now. They told me.
All right, we're out of your way.
I got the light out of their eyes.
I'm out of your way.
If they keep the light out of their eyes, I'll take the camera away from them.
He's getting out of your way.
Back up, don't get in the way, cameraman. Back. Once they finished trying to chase away TV crews, police turned their attentions to the people in the street.
They locking people up just for turning up their music. They locking people up just for walking across the street. It's like, back in the slave days.
Finally, with the ever-present police chopper overhead, the night's big confrontation was about to take place in front of Zero's on Pacific Avenue. A sea of police gathered there and then suddenly charged.
Get up!
They swarmed into the restaurant and cleared it, then continued on their way down the strip. By 1 a.m., all was calm.
Get the light out of his eyes. Let's go. I told you now. They told you. All right, we're out of your way. The light out of their eyes. Out of your way. The light out of their eyes. I'll take the camera away from it. He's getting out of your way. We're out of your way.
Required by law to leave the streets, sidewalks, and other public areas. If you do not leave the streets, sidewalks, and other public areas immediately, you will be arrested. If you return to this area after my making this announcement, you will be arrested.
Get the camera out of our eyes here. Back up, don't get in the way, cameraman. Back. Hey, you go over there and turn off right here. Stop. Okay. Take a picture. Y'all arrested me. How the hell did y'all mess with me?
Stacy, please get in here, Stacy. Stacy, get in here.
Atlantic Avenue had been shut down to traffic since early Sunday morning from the first night of violence, so Pacific Avenue became the strip, and that's where police began their sweep. It appeared to be more than 200 Virginia Beach and state police officers storming the street in riot gear. Angry visitors from Greekfest resented aggressive police presence, and then they showered them with rocks and bottles. Random gunfire rang out along the beachfront. Police raced through motel balconies, chasing spectators into their rooms.
Nobody's doing nothing wrong. They jumped to the wrong conclusions too early. Nothing happened tonight. Why are they here? That's who we want to talk to. We want to talk to the police.
A couple of white Virginia Beach residents express who they think is at fault for the turmoil. Who's at fault? The people? Are they acting too rowdy, or the police?
They're being too aggressive about it. I mean, all they got to do is go into diplomatic stuff, you know. I mean, they don't have to come out with force like this. It's crazy.
I think the law is a little overdoing it down here with the way things have been.
So you agree with the blacks down here about police harassment?
Yeah, 100%.
Last year's Greekfest promoter, Teddy Holloway, blames the city.
They did nothing to try to give the people something to do.
Last night's tension is the second in as many nights. A relative calm has been restored for now, but it must last one more night.
This is a censored videotape provided by the city of Virginia Beach. In it, we witness violence and looting, as well as a show of police force. But there were private security officers who were armed as well. One of them fired his gun during the sporadic violence. In an exclusive interview, he talked to me on the condition that his identity not be revealed.
I fired 2 shots in the air, not at anybody, in the air, just to hopefully attract the police's attention even, to come down to that area. And it was wrong. It was morally wrong what they were doing, and nobody was doing anything.
Police report they never fired a shot during the weekend disturbance, yet 2 people were wounded by gunfire and remain hospitalized. It appears tension, the show of force by police, combined with armed civilians may have been ingredients that contributed to the trouble.
Emotionally, I felt that I was one person. I was grossly outnumbered.
Cleanup crews along Atlantic Avenue had their hands full this morning trying to pick up the pieces after a night of looting. National Guardsmen stood watch on every corner. If anyone got out of line, they didn't hesitate to arrest people.
You could see the tear gas in the air, and it just came down like the police were behind them, and it took the police until 5 o'clock to get to this point.
For weeks, preparations were made to avoid this kind of trouble. They apparently didn't work. Eyewitnesses' accounts differ, but apparently a gathering of students was broken up by police early this morning. When horse-mounted officers failed to move the crowd, eyewitnesses said tear gas was used.
Like animals, man. They're just coming through all the doors and windows and breaking in every showcase we had. And it was just pure chaos.
You tried to do anything to stop him?
No.
And the guys just started coming down, and they just hit every store consecutively. They were just taking up trash cans, throwing them in the windows, and everybody was around. Even some cops came around.
Between 15 and 100 people then moved along Atlantic Avenue, breaking windows, stealing from stores, and then moving on. But you didn't see any officers on foot down here? Any state police, any Virginia Beach police?
No, not at all. I called one time, and they said they were doing the best they can. They were working their way down from the north end.
Last night, if the cops had come down, like where was the state police?
How many cops did you see?
None.
According to eyewitnesses, police presence or a lack of it was also a problem.
Harassing the people. It was stupid like they were in school somewhere, you know. Hey, don't cross the street right here or we're going to give you a ticket, and they did it too.
It almost looks as if Greekfest visitors treated the last 2 nights of tension as bad dreams. This is a new day. The Strip is one big block party. Police are still quite visible on the streets, but visitors say police aren't hassling them like in previous days. Some say if it can stay that way, day 3 of rioting won't happen.
The riots weren't necessary at all. They weren't necessary at all.
What about tonight? Do you foresee or can you sense that anything will jump off tonight at all?
The whole thing, the whole ordeal is all messed up. I mean, they messed up the weekend.
As long as they tell us in advance what they want, what time they want their curfew to be, we will be in and we will behave ourselves. If they don't bother us, we won't bother them.
Greekfest partygoers say as long as there's fun, there will be no trouble. Do you sense anything might go wrong tonight at all?
No, everybody just wants to have fun. That's all. That's what we came down here for.
No, I don't think nothing will jump off tonight. Everybody, all they want to do, as you can see, all you have to do is look. Everybody just want to have fun. They're just playing their music. Everybody's in the street dancing. What more can you ask for?
Although scores of businesses were damaged by riots, a few think the worst is over.
We're going to stay open as late as we can. If we see any rioting, looting, we'll probably close up right away.
I don't foresee anything. I mean, I don't foresee anything should happen. The kids will behave. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think anything's going to happen.
Trouble erupts on Virginia Beach's Atlantic Avenue for a third straight night. Police in large numbers once again are called upon to flex their muscles as a means of keeping the peace and avoiding more looting. Details are still kind of sketchy, but from what we can piece together, here's how this night of relative calm and quiet was momentarily shattered. It all began here at the corner of 17th and Atlantic at the Dolphin Inn. Apparently there was a false alarm pulled, and when fire department and police arrived, one of the police canine dogs accidentally got loose and bit a young woman. From there it all went downhill. Donna Brommel of Chesapeake claims she was beaten.
This guard just came and said, move. I said, I'm moving. He said, you're not moving fast enough. And then started beating me with the cane, and the rest of them started hitting me.
Approximately 20 minutes and 3 arrests later, order was restored. But not a minute too soon for Oceanfront residents who say they've seen more than enough of Greekfest.
It's a shame what they did to our town.
Yeah.
It's not right.
They say that the police are the ones who started the riot. The police were just protecting the stores. Hey, once they started looting and vandalizing and breaking in those stores, the police had to do something. We were just in protecting the community and the locals here. You know, we pay taxes, we have rights.
And if you ask the Greekfest participants and the police, that's probably what they'd tell you too. Mike Gooding, 13 News, Virginia Beach.
The past 2 nights of clashes between Greekfest crowds and authorities have produced some grim statistics. At least 18 injuries, more than 160 arrests, and millions of dollars in looting and damages to over 100 stores, shops, and hotel rooms. The Virginia NAACP says beach police and other authorities were, quote, overzealous, overpowering, and overreactive. Spokesman Jack Gravely says Greekfest goers were made to feel unwelcome and unwanted even before they arrived in town. But he also came down hard on those students who went on a rampage.
Those who looted, those who broke windows should be caught, arrested, indicted, tried, and convicted. We do not condone that. We cannot condone that. That is uncivil.
At a news conference this afternoon, Virginia Beach Mayor Myra Oberndorf admitted the city was simply not prepared to handle such huge crowds. But she also praised law enforcement officers for their restraint and controlled response to a volatile situation.
No fatal force has been used by any law enforcement people, and no weapons have been fired by the police.
For 2 days, the celebration known as Greekfest went according to plan. No problems, no disruptions. Then on Sunday morning, after a dispute with police, the plan broke down. Hundreds of stores along Atlantic Avenue were looted. The National Guard was called in. Order was restored. The loss estimated to be in the millions. The loss to some stores, perhaps permanent.
It was a good season up until last night.
It's over?
I think so. I think so. My business is out. It's gone.
Out-of-towners were blamed, but some of the actual students here for Greekfest blamed a lack of police presence for not stopping the looting.
And they would never shine the light, like right on the people, right down there. Because if they did that or drove the cop cars down with the sirens on, the people would have left. They would have dispersed.
By Sunday afternoon, the main road along the oceanfront was closed to traffic. But groups of young, mostly black youths were gathering. Around 7 p.m. Sunday night, state troopers in riot gear began to move down Atlantic Avenue. Their job, clear the streets and avoid a repeat of Sunday morning's looting. After nearly 3 hours, the street emptied. Sporadic arrests still took place, but the situation was calm. And by Monday morning, the streets were again open to traffic. The National Guard and the state police had both left.
Well over 100 shops, restaurants, and hotels were damaged or looted this past weekend. The dollar loss is expected to run in the millions. Some of the people who own those businesses called a news conference this afternoon. Their feelings about the future of Greekfest are clear.
We don't need it back. We don't want it back. And we're just not in a 30-block area. We're not capable of handling it.
Owner Butch Clark described how his hotel was taken over and ransacked. The crowds threatened to kill his desk clerk, and he had no apologies for how police handled the situation.
If one person tells you that, that's one thing. But when hundreds stand there and tell you they're going to cut your throat, what would you have done?
In just one of our rooms, we confiscated 4 automatic weapons, fully loaded. You tell me, do vacationers come to have a good time with automatic weapons? I don't think so.
All these business people say the resort area is just too small to handle any kind of event that will draw crowds of up to 100,000 people. In the coming months, they plan to meet with city officials to look for ways to prevent a repeat next year.
Our goal as businessmen is to bring the family business back to Virginia Beach Labor Day.
While business people are clear about where they stand on Greekfest, Virginia's gubernatorial candidates are taking a more cautious line. Mark Tedino has more.
The disturbance at the beach has left a lot of unanswered questions, but not many people without opinions. Anytime over 40 people are injured and millions of dollars are lost through looting and destruction, there's sure to be finger-pointing. 2 men who believe the governor did the right thing in bringing in the National Guard are running against each other for governor. Marshall Coleman and Douglas Wilder agree in this case.
I will follow the same course of saying that the enforcement of the law comes first and foremost.
So you would have no problem with bringing in National Guard troops if they needed to?
If the situation demanded it.
I've discussed the matter with the governor and know that he is interested in obviously determining all of the aspects of what did take place so that we can learn from it and not have a repetition of it in the future.
And for those looking to exploit the weekend disturbance, the lieutenant governor says to go look elsewhere.
Too many good-meaning people are involved in making certain we don't have a repetition of that. And so I don't think anyone who wants to benefit from it.
It appears that at least on this one issue, there will be no future debate between these 2 candidates. Mark Tedino, 13 News, Norfolk.
From coast to coast, headlines about Virginia Beach, and none of it positive. Riots, racial tension, looting. In some articles and television reports, the looting that precipitated the drastic police action is barely mentioned. More prominent are the pictures of conflicts between police and Greekfest participants. In an attempt to counteract the negative publicity, Virginia Beach's mayor went on a nationally broadcast talk radio show this morning, originating at WNIS in Norfolk.
I want to reassure everybody across the United States that never has there been a more responsible group of law enforcement professionals than there have been in the city of Virginia Beach this weekend.
While many Greekfest participants told network television crews the police were to blame for the problem, rarely did the nation hear this.
Me being black myself, I'm kind of embarrassed about what happened, you know, and I don't appreciate the reflection that they've given me.
How the negative publicity will reflect on future years of tourism is what merchants worry about now. They're not as concerned about the physical damage that can be cleaned up. Whether businesses were damaged or not, the feeling here on the Strip today is everyone will suffer. After all, how do you repair a negative image of a city that's been plastered across a nation? Catherine Barrett, 13 News on Atlantic Avenue.
Did these pictures of the Sunday night police crackdown only make matters worse? Did the news media's coverage unfairly portray police response? What about the print media with its big headlines? And the out-of-town papers like the Washington Post, the New York Times, and USA Today? Did they accurately report on what happened here? We ask these questions because viewers and readers are asking them. Many say journalists, print and electronic, played a major role in shaping the events by reporting on them. 13 News viewers evidently feel we didn't do a good job. 71% who responded to a poll last night said no, the media wasn't fair. And Virginia Beach Mayor Myra Obendorf also says the coverage was at times slanted.
The entire story was not told. The press is allowed to report that which it feels is appropriate, and they edit the rest. I have no control. We've tried to let our story be known.
Nothing was planned well. No leadership existed.
It was a vacuum, and you were in the middle of a vacuum reporting it. That's it. You were in a maelstrom. You were in a whirlpool reporting it. And now the city's upset that you reported it. They got a black eye.
Old Dominion University journalism professor Fred Talbot says he thinks Greekfest reporting was balanced.
All of you, all 3 channels which I watched, the Virginian Pilot and the Daily Press, I think it was remarkable coverage. I really do.
Something terrible went wrong here. For 2 hours, the resort strip was turned upside down. Stores and motels were vandalized. People were injured and police officers attacked. The FBI tells Channel 13 it's launched an investigation into the violence that happened on the streets here. Spokesmen say at least 2 people have filed complaints alleging police violated their civil rights. The results of that probe will go to the Justice Department.
The city manager has agreed to make available to the FBI and the Justice Department all of the city's files and tapes.
The mayor of Virginia Beach told me that the city welcomes the investigation and hopes a third party can sort out this chaos. And she says soon some police officers will go public with their account of what really happened.
There was great restraint shown by these very brave police officers who were being under constant attack by bottles and stones and the sporadic gunfire.
The attorney for the Beach NAACP, who was arrested during Greekfest, says there's been talk of filing a class action lawsuit against the city, but at this time none has. Bernard Holmes says before the NAACP files a complaint with the Justice Department, it wants to sit down and talk with the mayor and city manager.
Let everybody put their feelings on the table and then see if there's enough courage, enough creativity, and enough leadership to resolve those irreconcilables.
Well, that's a big question right there. I think it's unfortunate. I think the city is going to suffer in its family beach image, and I don't think we're going to be able to satisfy everybody on anything. You know, the students don't feel we did it right. Some of the merchants don't feel we did it right. Some of the residents don't think we did it right. The students definitely don't feel we did it right.
The resort area is Teresa Suba's beat. The 23-year-old policewoman patrols the strip to keep it safe for everyone. She was there when the Greekfest chaos began. She wore riot gear and a bulletproof vest.
It wasn't terrifying in that you were afraid you were going to get hurt, I think, as more as we were concerned about each other.
At best, a riot is a no-win situation. Suba says officers did the very best they could with what they had. She said that it wasn't a racist thing of whites versus blacks.
Because there isn't a single person down here that we tolerate sitting on top of their vehicle or drinking from an open container of alcohol in front of the police officers.
Some of the stores along the resort strip are still boarded up. Suba says, imagine what it would have been like if she and the other officers hadn't been there.
Proud of what you did, the job you did?
I think every officer down here put the most they could into this weekend, and when it went bad, they restrained themselves from getting out of hand.
On the resort strip tonight, Michael Barnes, 13 News, Virginia Beach.
One tourist says it doesn't even look like the strip was battered by rioting last week. People are out walking, merchants have displays on the sidewalks, customers are eating peacefully at the corner pancake house. A different picture from what we saw last week. Stores severely damaged, some destroyed, merchandise stolen. The result of looting and rioting from last week's Greekfest bash. The picture at the strip seems more pleasant this week, but behind the pretty picture, hotels are hurting because many tourists now refuse to come. Even those who are here say they had second thoughts.
Yes, we did. We called and made sure everything had calmed down before we left home.
We saw it on the news and we thought there were some problems last weekend here, but I thought it was over the Labor Day weekend and most of the students or whatever would have been back home by now.
Hotel managers are grateful for what few guests they have. Several say they lost 25% of their reservations following last week's turmoil. One hotel says even guests who paid in advance never showed up. Even though rates are slashed after Labor Day, extra discounts have been applied to make up for lost business. And there's extra concern about black tourists.
Some of the hotels along the strip report that blacks make up 30, 40, even 50% of the business throughout the summer. But fewer have checked in than this past week. And one hotel manager says that brings up the question of whether blacks are feeling uneasy about coming to the strip amid all the racial overtones from Greekfest.
Yeah, I've been feeling welcome. It's not that bad down here. It's nice. It's real nice.
The only stores that we didn't purchase anything is the people who agreed that what the police did were right.
According to Conversation on the Strip, some of those stores and hotels won't be open next Labor Day weekend. Sheldon Ingram, 13 News, Virginia Beach. After last year's Labor Day disturbances, Virginia Beach suffered a deep, dark scar. The resort city took on an image of bitterness and racial unrest. Because of scenes like this, it was perceived as a city living in the 60s. The Labor Day Review Commission report blasts city leaders for not being leaders. The report also cited inadequate planning and poor preparation. Some members of the Virginia Beach Police Department were cited for excessive force. The commission also fired sharp criticism at the looters and troublemakers responsible for damaging more than 100 businesses. Despite all the violence and destruction, many of the black visitors say they are going back to Virginia Beach this coming Labor Day weekend. To prevent last year's problems from occurring again, the commission strongly urges that a Labor Day weekend adjunct committee be formed by the city. This group, according to the report, should include an interracial mix of city officials, black college leaders, students, and civil rights leaders. Coca-Cola had expressed interest in sponsoring the event last year. The committee strongly urges getting promoters and corporate sponsorship for Labor Day Weekend 90. Steve Love of Oz Productions in Hampton wants to be the promoter for the Labor Day activities.
Would you get merchants involved? Absolutely, yeah. You involve the merchants, let them carry merchandise that the students will enjoy and will buy. And everybody will come out a few dollars ahead, and the town will be nice and we'll have a nice weekend.
Today, Governor Douglas Wilder said he is confident beach officials will do whatever it takes to prevent trouble from resurfacing.
And what should be done to make it go over smoothly and without incident?
Well, it would be premature for me to suggest that. The report might very well have every recommendation in it to do.
This matter is now out of the hands of the Labor Day Review Commission and back in the hands of Virginia Beach city officials. And all eyes across the nation are watching, as it has 7 months to implement the recommendations from the report, if they plan to use them at all. Sheldon Ingram, 13 News, Norfolk.
Today, you'd be hard-pressed to find visible scars from what city officials termed a disturbance 10 years ago. Talk to people who were there, though, black and white, and you'll see the legacy of the Greekfest riots is still very much with this city.
Back up, don't get in the way, cameraman. Back.
There were scores of arrests. There was looting. Private security guards shot 2 people. About 20 cops were injured, all on this Labor Day weekend night in 1989.
There was the Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing. There was NWA, Fight the Power. All these different social issues came together at one time, and then there was too many people in one place at one time with not a whole lot to do.
No feelings of being welcome came to mind. Feelings of not belonging, feelings of please go home, you shouldn't be here.
The fallout was dreadful, not just to the mostly African-American college students who were making an annual pilgrimage to party at the Oceanfront, but to the city itself, which almost instantly got a national reputation that it wasn't the family beach it advertised.
Obviously, when anything is repeated over and over on television, it sometimes takes on a life of its own. It took us until 1990, it was just about a year, to get the situation turned around, which we did do.
In the spring of 1990, the city put out video news releases like this one, saying the city had already moved on.
It's mid-May, and beach lovers are flocking here for the start of the city's biggest year ever.
In reality, the city was losing $6 million the first 9 months after the riots. But the Visitors Bureau says it recovered in 1991 and has had record tourism years since. City leaders credit the rebound to a proactive approach. In 1991, the council appointed a Human Rights Commission to promote mutual understanding. And the police department instituted a number of reforms, including cultural sensitivity training, recruiting more black officers, and expanding the police chaplain program. Even the way it handles crowds is different.
The officers no longer, as a rule, stand in the street and watch the crowd. We get up on the sidewalk, we walk with the crowd, we talk to the crowd.
The Greekfest name itself was quickly retired and renamed the American Music Festival. But the event itself is a sore spot for the leader of Virginia Beach's NAACP, who would like to see more culturally diverse acts.
Why would you have a crowd that's coming and you know you're coming and don't cater to that crowd?
City leaders say the fact that an African-American crowd is coming is a sign of greater healing, but not yet healed.
It will always be a part of our history. However, what's really important about that is that we should use that as kind of a benchmark for where we had, where we were, where we are now, and where we want to go.